18, I'm a lesbian from Southeast London. I first realised that I was a bit different around the ages 7 or 8. Mainly it was to do with, my family had always gone like, there's something different, there's something different about you. Like, I've always been more wanting to play with the boyish stuff, and my cousin's always been like that girly girl sort of thing. And then like playing at school in the playground, I wouldn't sit with the girls and do everything they're doing. I'd be like with the boys chasing the girls everywhere, just being that annoying kind of person. There was a girl who came into my year when I was in year 3, I believe, and she was just, it was like, whoa, this is a girl. And it was like, well, I don't like the boys and I like the girls, so what's different about them? And then I realized that it was something different in me and not in them. And that's when I was like, so what is this feeling? And then it was only when I got a bit older I learned what the difference was, because no one ever spoke about it. And that's when I realized I'm a bit different to everybody else. My coming out first started with my friends. We were all in a classroom, and one of them was like, I feel like I'm bisexual. And I was like, I'm glad someone else has said it before I said it. We came out together, and it was like really supportive because it was all of us telling each other, because we were too scared to tell anyone else. It was an all-girls Catholic school, so it was just something that you didn't speak of. But when my friends did tell me, it was like, I have people in my corner. So I think those were the best people to come out to, because they were there from the very start with me, and I like that. I like that a lot. It was a few weeks ago actually when I was with my nan and my cousin, and my cousin was talking about her boyfriend and everything going on with them. And then my nan just turned to me and she was all like, so do you think you and your girlfriend are like gonna be together forever? Do you think she's the one? And I just stopped in my tracks because I was like, how do you know? And she was like, do you think I wouldn't know? So that was quite nice, and she sat and spoke with me about it, and she was all like, no matter what, no matter how you feel, I will always accept however you are. And I was like, thanks, man. She was like, I'm glad you're happy. Because she's first generation like Jamaican immigrant from Windrush, I expected her to like be completely against it, but she wasn't, which I like, maybe because I'm her favourite grandchild. But I think it was really nice that she actually cared, and yeah, she didn't overreact. I like that. But with certain family members in Peterborough and Nottingham, we're all very quite close, and like I'm their favourite niece and everything, but they have a very stereotypical mindset of gay is wrong, everything is just wrong. So I feel like if I ever did tell them, that would like kind of ruin the relationship that we do have. So at family events, my cousin will talk about her boyfriend and everything like that. And she gets all the typical, boys are this, boys are that, you shouldn't do that sort of stuff. And then they always ask me, oh, have you got a boyfriend? And I'm like, no, just trying to focus on my work and nothing like that. Boys don't interest me. I'm afraid to tell them because of their reactions. If we're watching telly and something comes up like that, they will go on for hours and hours about how God will strike them down and things like that. So that's when I realized I'm just going to keep my mouth closed and not say anything. So in the early days when I was in year 8, I was in my classroom talking to my friends about the situation, and a girl overheard and she was like, what? You're bisexual? You like girls? And that turned everyone's attention onto me, and they was all like, oh my God, I can't believe it. That's wrong, this. My teacher was really supportive though. He was like, everyone just stop. It's not important. Don't get involved. But a classroom of 30 girls against one teacher, it didn't really work out very well. Since that day, everyone just turned on me. Like I wasn't allowed in any of the changing rooms. If I even walked past them, they would start to freak out over the fact that I was just there. And then there was one girl in particular, she used to like trip me up in the corridors, she used to push me, all of that. And then a few weeks ago, I was walking home from work and I saw her in the street, and she was trying to be really nice to me. She was like, oh, hi, Lauryn, how are you? And I was like, you were evil to me in school. She went, no, I would never do anything like that. And I was like, yeah, you used to trip me up, you used to push me over, you used to do all these things to me and my friends, and it's like you don't even remember. She was like, no, it wasn't like that, it wasn't, no. And I was like, how's things for you? She went, they're not too good, but they could be better. And I was looking at her thinking, it was karma. But I just know that things do get better, because now I'm out of the place that just caused so much havoc and stress, and things are getting better now, so I'll take that. It's pretty good. The way it feels is mainly like I would go home and just feel really upset all the time, and mum would be like, what's going on? But we never had that relationship where I could tell her things. So I was just like, no, mum, it's fine. There were some days I wouldn't go to school, and me and my friends, we would go sit in the park, maybe opposite the school or down the road, until we got caught one day and got sent back into the school. But there was times or I'd tell mum, I don't feel very well today. And she always knew if I was well or not, but she still had to go to work. But she would give me that look, and it was like, I know something's up. It was a damper. Like, it just made life a lot harder. And like, my grades went down and everything. And my favorite teachers, they were like, what's going on? And I was like, it's just some girls and whatever. I work as a level 3 nursery apprentice, and I look after children ages 2 to 4. And sometimes I like to sit down with them just in a circle and talk about things that are on their mind or on my mind. And at the nursery, there's a diverse amount of children. Some have 2 mums, some actually have 4 dads and 4 mums because of step family and things like that. I think it was last week, I sat them down and I was like, do you guys think that if a girl can marry a girl, and do you think boys can marry boys? And at first, most of them were like, no, that's not okay. But one of the children who has 2 mums, she was like, yeah, my mummy and mama are married together. And then that's when the other children were thinking, I was like, well, it does happen, so it must be okay. And one of them said to me, but that would be crazy. And I was like, why would it? She went, it just would, because my mummy is a girl and my dad is a boy and they're together. So why should a girl and a girl be married? And I was all like, well, I think it's perfectly okay because you can marry whoever you love. And she looked at me, she went, teacher, I think you're right. And she ran off and came back with one of the other children. She was like, when we're bigger, we can get married too, can't we? And I was like, of course you can. But it is a bit harder to explain to the adults than it is to the children. The children, they hear it and they think, and then they try and process it. Whereas the adults, it's like they've been so used to a mindset that they don't even try and figure it out from your point of view. And that does irritate me. And sometimes if my girlfriend comes to pick me up, they were like, oh, it's your girlfriend. And like, they really emphasize it. And I'm like, if your boyfriend came to pick you up, it wouldn't be the same way around. You don't have to overreact. And then one of the children walked past where she was with me, and it was all like, is that your good friend, teacher? I went, yes, this is my good friend. She was like, nice to meet you. And they had a really nice conversation about it. Some people react differently to others, and the children have more of a mature attitude than the adults do. And I think that's really interesting to see, and I like that. But then when it comes to my colleagues, it's more like, ugh. Like, I don't feel like I want to be around them only because of how they act. There's sometimes when I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to go to work because I know I'm going to be stuck with negative mindsets. It's just like, just let me do my job and be happy. As a person part of the LGBT plus community, it makes me happy when someone says, oh, hey, I'm a lesbian, or hey, I'm gay. You have that instant connection with someone and you feel like you're all just part of one community, and it's like something that other people may not understand because you've had struggles the same as the person next to you. So it's just that thing of being part of something different, especially if you're out and about in like events. Like I went to Comic-Con a few months ago. You could tell certain people were different and they had like maybe like the rainbow flag or something like the bisexuality flag, and you just instantly just wanted to talk to them and make friends. And then if I'm just walking down the street in general and you just see a same-sex couple holding hands or hugging and things like that, it just makes you think you're happy to be yourself. You're just out there and proud, and it's all like you feel like everything's okay. And like even on my way here, there was a gay couple and a lesbian couple, and you could tell they were friends, and they were all walking and holding hands and being quite cute with each other. And I just smiled because it was like, yeah, be proud and things like that. And like on YouTube, especially because I spend mainly half my day on YouTube, I love watching videos about like coming out videos or people just being proud to be themselves. And it just adds a bit of diversity to the world instead of everyone just being the same. Especially like Tyler Oakley, he's great. Or like certain gay couples on YouTube, they just make me feel more happy than watching like a heterosexual couple. Like they're cute and all, but you don't relate as much and things like that. It should just be broadcasted more instead of a thing that we're all just quiet about, considering it's not illegal anymore to be gay. Everyone should just be themselves, I think. And it's just nice to be out there and see people in everyday life, and I like that. I feel like the opportunities I've had where I have had to come out to people, I've had really good reactions from some and some not quite so good, but it's that thing of no matter what, it will always get better. When I was in school, I always felt nothing will ever get better, like it's always going to be bad. But then once I left and went on to do my own things, that's when I realized as I get older now, it will get better, because I've got a whole life to live now. By the end of it, I will be perfectly happy with how I am and the people around me. And I know once you get older, you stop really caring about other people's opinions. And I hope to get there one day, because right now I act like I don't care, but I feel like I will get there one day. I'll just stop caring and just live my life, and it will all be okay one day. I know that. Yeah.